Do you sometimes feel like you're doing all of the niche research, you're finding great niches, you're creating amazing designs, your listing SEO is really good, and you're uploading tons and tons of designs consistently to your marketplace of choice, or even to multiple marketplaces at the same time? However, nothing is really changing. You're not noticing much progress. Maybe a new design sells every now and then, here and there, but overall, your monthly sales are not really going up much. Well, the truth is, especially if you're entering evergreen niches, that tends to be most people's experience, including myself. And I've spoken to many other people that I've coached or met through the YouTube channel who enter evergreen niches consistently, and that's what they focus on. And what tends to be their experience, and mine as well, is that throughout the year, as you're creating these designs, your sales go up slowly and steadily, and you barely notice any difference in the moment. From week to week, there's not really much noticeable change. From month to month, yeah, the sales are going up slowly, but overall, you have quite a consistent baseline of sales that doesn't change much throughout the year. If you're designing for trends or holiday niches, that's a whole different story. But if you're mainly focusing on evergreen, this is what it tends to be. You have a baseline of sales that slowly grows throughout the year if you're consistent, but doesn't really change that much. However, things get interesting once Q4 comes around. And I'm not just talking about the Q4 sales rush itself, but also what it does to your sales and your baseline of average monthly sales for the next year. But let's focus on Q4 first. So it's this magical time from October to December where Christmas shopping starts to kick in. People are getting lots of gifts for their friends and family, and there's just way more demand for the types of products that we sell as print-on-demand sellers. If you've been consistent throughout the year, you will notice that a lot of those designs that you created maybe in March, in April, May, June, July, a lot of those designs that never sold and that felt like in the moment you were just wasting your time on, some of those designs are now getting their first sales during Q4, and some of them might even get multiple sales. And this is already a great sign and kind of some feeling of relief and reward that not all of your work and time that you've put in has been wasted. So Q4, massive spike in sales. If you've entered evergreen niches, it is quite common. But then what happens in the next year? This is what I like to call the Q4 effect. Yes, sales drop back down. The crash after December to January is usually quite a tough one. However, typically, once sales recover throughout February, March, you kind of come to a new baseline in sales. So if during 2024, your monthly sales were kind of hovering around the 200 sale per month mark, and they were slowly going up or down every now and then, if that was your baseline, next year, 2025, your new baseline could very well be 400 sales a month or even 500 sales a month. That is what Q4 tends to do to your sales. It increases your baseline average sales that you get on a monthly basis. And this has been literally the same for me every single year. And almost everyone that I've watched using this same strategy has the same experience. There's just been an example in my print-on-demand community where someone about half a year ago celebrated their first $1,000 month, right? So this was last year leading up to Q4. And now they're consistently getting around $2,000 a month in sales. So you can see right there, in between that time frame, Q4 happened, and Q4 increased the baseline for this person. I'm telling you this to motivate you and show you that even though in the moment right now, it might feel like you're finding great niches, you're designing great stuff, but you're not really getting much feedback from these, and it feels like you're wasting your time. Trust me, if you stay consistent, this time isn't wasted. You're kind of doing the work for your future self to increase your future sales. You just have to be a bit more patient and remember that Q4 has a lot of power. If you've never experienced one during Q4, it's very common for you to get 5 or 6 times as many sales per day as you typically do. And that is quite common for most people. In some cases, might even be 10 times as many sales per day as you're getting right now. I'm saying if you're consistent, right? If right now you're thinking, okay, I'm not really seeing much feedback or not much of a response, from the work I'm doing and I'm just going to lay back and leave it be because it doesn't seem to be worth it, okay, then maybe you won't have a great Q4 and you won't have that increase in baseline next year. You still have to be consistent throughout the year for this to take place. And another point I wanted to make, and something I wanted to remind you of, is the fact that oftentimes, and again, this happens to me as well still, oftentimes, if we kind of zoomed in and we're looking at a closer time frame, there is going to be ups and downs. So if your average daily sales is maybe 5 at the moment, you're getting 5 sales per day roughly, you are going to have days where it drops down to maybe 1 sale, or maybe you even have an entire week where you're just getting 1 to 2 sales per day. And you might feel like this is the end of your print-on-demand business, sales are dropping and they'll never recover, they'll never come back. But truth is, this happens to everyone, no matter which level you're at. And typically, after a few bad days, or maybe even after a couple bad weeks, things do recover and you're going to have normal days again, maybe even some really high days. There are definitely highs and lows throughout the month, throughout the days, throughout the weeks. It's when you zoom out, you see more of a consistent stream of sales. This happens to me as well. Like, it doesn't matter how many sales you're getting. If you're getting 100 sales a day, you might have a week where you're only getting 50 sales per day. And some of you watching might think, well, you shouldn't complain about that. But for that person, if their baseline is 100 sales a day, 50 suddenly feels terrible. And it's just to give you an example that it doesn't matter which level of sales you're on. Even if you're getting 1 sale a day consistently and then dropping back to 0, that feels terrible, right? We don't want that to happen. But it is part of the print-on-demand journey, and it's almost everyone's experience, right? Let me know in the comments down below whether you've had the same experience, especially if you've been in this for a few years now. Has it been the same for you? Have you experienced the Q4 effect of an increase in average sales year after year, or every single Q4 thereafter? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be interested to hear that, and I hope this video was able to help motivate you and show you that no, you're not wasting your time and effort. The rewards just tend to be delayed. And in case you're wondering what this Q4 effect looked like for me when I was starting out on my print-on-demand journey, then this video right here holds the answer, where I share some of my actual sales statistics on Amazon Merge and show you how long it took me to get to $1,000 per month.